I honestly don't know where to start this. I didn't plan anything out or figure out what I wanted to say because I did not expect to be going through this until my early 30s, 30, 34. It's so sunny and beautiful and blue outside, and that is just so defeating when you feel so crummy inside. My beloved cat, Blueberry Goose, passed away. It felt really sudden. I mean, it really was, because it was only like a week and a half before that he started showing symptoms that really concerned us. But it really was so sudden. He was just 9 years old. I found Blueberry in the woods when I was 14 years old in May of whatever year that was, like 2017, I think. I found him in the woods as a tiny, tiny kitten. And I had wanted a cat so bad my entire life. I had asked for a cat every year, like constantly. I wanted a cat so bad. And my mom never would let me have a cat. We always had one dog, and that's all she would let us have. And my grandma had like 6 cats and said that one of them was mine, but they were hers and it couldn't live with me. And my mom moved me up to Dayton from Cincinnati, promised that she would let me have a cat. And over a year went by with her taking me to shelters, saying none of them were a good fit, and she clearly never planned on getting me a cat. And I was with my friend Izzy, and we found kittens in the back of her apartment in the woods, and he was just the first one that I could snatch up. And I didn't plan on getting a black cat. I didn't care what color the cat was. I just wanted a cat. And a kitten was even better because my mom said no to kittens. She needed it to be over a year old for it to work. But I saw this tiny kitten, knew I could corner it and catch it. The rest fled. He was cornered, was clawing at me, making that noise because that's the only noise that kittens can make. I snatched him up. Izzy got her cat, but he ran away a few years ago. But I've always had Blueberry. So feisty that I didn't even want him. I wanted Izzy's and she said no, so I just kept Blueberry. And I brought him home. And that was it. I've had him since then. I'm now 23. He was my first pet that was just mine. He's went through moves, crappy friendships. Cheyenne was so close to him and loved him so much. Boo hid from everyone. He was scared of everyone. He was very timid, very feisty, was a very scared cat. And Cheyenne was one of the very few people he would run up to and meow at her and would let her pick him up. And she died. And Boo was one of the last few living reminders that I had of her, because she had a black cat as well named Moon. So he made me think about Cheyenne and made me feel like I had a piece of her. He's went through moves, friendships, crappy friendships, really crappy guys, a lot of trauma. He went through all of my drug use with me, all of my rock bottom, me slipping down in my teenage years into a really awful place. He was who I wanted at night when I couldn't stop crying, and when I would hurt myself, I would just cuddle with him at the end of the night, and he made me feel better and he made me feel okay. I would just be laying there with self-harm all over my legs and my arms, and I would just hold him. He genuinely was my calm and my safe place. He always was my emotional support animal. I just didn't have him certified as that, and I wouldn't take him out of the house as that anyway, because that would have traumatized him. if I let him out on the front porch because he like seemed like he wanted to, he would immediately run back inside if he heard the slightest noise. I never had to worry about him running away. And when I used to cry, when I used to have my mental breakdowns when I was a teenager, I've not went through that in a long time. I've not self-harmed or used drugs in a long time. I am over 5 years sober. But when I would go through those things, he would get scared of me crying and he would just run up to me, get super close, and start swatting at my face. He just always made me feel better. I cannot believe he's gone, and so soon. I loved that cat. I loved him. I love him so much. He's went through everything with me. He went through me getting my life back on track when I was 18, through finding out I was pregnant, going through 2 pregnancies with me, newborn stages, bless him. And if you're wondering how the kids are coping, obviously Montgomery doesn't know any better. He's not gonna notice or remember. And Ozzy does not really seem like it's affecting him. There was a few times where he seemed to get a little emotional, but he just keeps saying, we're gonna get a new cat though. We're gonna get a new cat though. We're getting a new cat, so I'm not sad. I don't miss him. And I think that that's his way of just coping. I think that that's his way of coping, that we don't have Boo, we need to get a new cat. Which is fine. But obviously we're not getting a new cat for a little while. We planned for next January or February before Boo passed, because we know a breeder for Maine Coon cats, and we were gonna get a kitten in like 10 or 11 months. And that was before Boo passed away, so I don't even know anymore. That's also like a $3,000 cat. And yeah, these vet bills, and I don't even want to think about that right now, but Ozzy just keeps bringing it up. It's just his way of coping. So thinking about getting a new cat is something that I don't even want to do, but that is Ozzy's way of coping, so I just have to keep talking him through it. I mean, he has gone through 2 great losses in his short life. In this last year, we lost both of our pets in the last year. Our dog Aries had to be put away in May of 2025, so it has not even been a year. And that was also sudden and tragic and awful. He passed from osteosarcoma because he's an English Mastiff, and he hit his leg and cancer grew. Booberry, like 2 weeks ago, started to not eat or use the litter box. So I did his litter box and put all new cat litter in to see if that would do anything, and to like actually be able to track. The next day there was cat poop and pee in there, so I was like, oh, I'm just being over dramatic. He was still eating and drinking a little bit, but then the neurological symptoms started. About a week ago, I woke up and he was under my bed, and that night I realized that I hadn't seen him. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 small kids. I'm very busy. And I just feel so bad for not realizing. There's nothing we could have done, but I just feel bad that he was suffering for so long. I had noticed that night that he had not moved an inch. He was in the exact same spot, and he didn't look good. And then the next morning he was in the exact same spot again. So we took him to the emergency vet. That was over $700 for them to say his blood work looks normal. We gave him some IV fluid and an anti-nausea injection. And they sent us home with a gel to put in his ear to stimulate appetite because he wasn't eating. They did not give him anything to help with his mental health, like any anxiety medicine. They gave him zero pain medicine. And he wasn't moving. When Adam tried to pull him out from under the bed to take him to the emergency vet because he wouldn't move, he went completely limp. Completely limp. When we brought him home from the emergency vet, when I took him out of the cat carrier, straight from the emergency vet, and I took him out, put him on my bed, he collapsed backwards, like with his neck. Like it literally looked like his neck was broken, which it did not before that. Like, did you even try to make him stand up? Did you even take him out of the cat carrier? How did you just send him home with him literally going limp and falling? He cannot even stand up. Their other option for us besides the medication was to have him hospitalized and looked at overnight, which would have been $3,400. $3,400. And that doesn't include any of the diagnostic work. They recommended us to go to Columbus or to Cincinnati to go see a neurologist and get an MRI, which would have been over 10 grand, which we do not have at all. We don't even have that in credit limits. That's actually impossible for us to do. He proceeded to get worse over the next few days. He could stand up a little bit, but he just was not eating or drinking. And then I decided to schedule one for his normal vet. They just could not get him in as quick as the emergency vet. That was for Wednesday, which was yesterday. And Tuesday and Wednesday were really bad. On Tuesday, he wasn't doing good. He kept falling, and I kept trying to get him to eat. Ozzy then proceeded to run to me and say that Booberry was doing backflips. And that was him trying to get to his cat box, going on his back legs and fully flipping backwards because he couldn't support his neck. He just kept standing up, flipping backwards, standing up, flipping backwards. So I carried him to his cat box and put him outside of it. I didn't want to just set him in his cat box. He got into it and fully face planted into the litter and couldn't get himself up and started to pee and poop on himself. It seemed like he was done, so I took him out and tried to start wiping him down because he had cat litter in his nose and he couldn't breathe. He wasn't doing good at all. He was covered in cat litter and the dust from the cat litter. And I started wiping him down and he was yowling, which he had been doing. His breath smelled terrible for the last week and a half, and he's been yowling under the bed, just a deep guttural meow. And he was yowling and started to poop himself while I was wiping him down. It was just really bad. By the time we went to leave yesterday, because he wasn't eating, he wasn't drinking, it seemed like he was paralyzed, but he could still move his hands and his feet. He couldn't meow anymore. He was yowling with his mouth shut, he could not open his mouth. The vet appointment was fast. Of course, they charged us for yet another exam to make sure that it was his time. They barely touched him and charged us $90 for it when you could visibly see that he wasn't doing well, and we had already went to an emergency vet, so I found that to be very unnecessary, and so did Adam and his mom. And to get his ashes back and get a paw print and a lock of his hair, and for that appointment was over $500. But I wanted his ashes back. We got Aries' ashes back. That was Adam's first pet. And Booberry was mine. We've already agreed not to do this with any other pets, but these were not just any pets. These were really important pets. We had these pets through very formative years, and they made such a huge impact on our life. And now both of them are gone. I didn't film it all. I've not been filming over the past few days. I think I filmed myself putting tomato paste in my hair, and it helped. And my boobs are also rock hard because I quit breastfeeding. This is my 3rd day of not breastfeeding, and I am in excruciating pain. I didn't think he was gonna have to get put down. I thought there was something that they could do. Like, in the back of my mind, I knew he needed to if they couldn't help, but I thought they were gonna be like, he has an ear infection or he has something that can be fixed. But they ended up telling us that their best guess, without the thousands of dollars of diagnostic care, would have been a blood clot, because that's what it seemed like. It was a blood clot. And it would have just been not a long life and constant physical therapy and medications. And the emergency vet didn't give him any pain medicine, so he had been suffering for days. We went a Saturday, he got euthanized Wednesday, so he went 4 days in probably agonizing pain. He didn't deserve to be in pain for his last few days, and I wasn't gonna make him suffer anymore. Obviously, it would have been free, and they would have let us take him home and let him pass at home. But obviously, that's not humane, and I did not want him to suffer any longer. He didn't deserve any of this. Yeah, I've stopped breastfeeding because people around me did not support me. I felt very pressured to end breastfeeding because he's 15 months old, and I was getting a lot of comments from relatives and a lot of lack of support through my entire breastfeeding journey, but especially after he hit a year old. I definitely felt very uncomfortable breastfeeding around people. My boobs are rock hard and in so much pain. I just keep shoving my bra with cabbage leaves, cold cabbage leaves, and my cat is not here. I keep expecting him to run out into the hallway meowing like he usually does, or come cuddle with me at night like he always does. But he's not here. And seeing him get put down was horrible. It was terrible. I can't. There's cat boxes here and cat food and his medications and the pheromone collars and pheromone plugins, and we don't have any pets anymore. We pay pet rent here. We don't have any pets anymore. And Ozzy is just ready to replace him like that, which I do not blame him for. It's obviously a little upsetting for me to hear, but I don't say that or show that because he is 3 years old and he is coping the best way he knows how to. I do not blame him, and I do not get frustrated at him for saying that he wants a new cat. That is how he is coping. I don't want him to be in distress, and I don't want him to feel like I'm just ignoring his way of coping. He is happily oblivious. I will love him forever, and I'm tired of having to say that with the people that I love. I'll love Cheyenne forever, I'll love Aaron forever, I'll love Aries forever, I'll love Booberry forever. I'm tired of grieving. I'm really, really tired of grieving. I cannot handle any more loss, and this loss feels so great, but I keep looking at my children and it just makes me feel better. My kids are so happy and healthy, and I'm so grateful that they're here. And I can't imagine the loss of a child. This loss feels so great and so big for me. And I'm so sad, but I have such healthy, beautiful children, and I just cannot even fathom the loss of a child. I don't ever want to fathom that. The entire time I've had this YouTube channel, I have had him. I've had Booberry, and I had him for 2 years before I started this YouTube channel. I'm gonna grieve. I will be back eventually. I have 5 videos that I'm editing and uploading right now. So that's gonna be through April and May. And yeah, I'll probably be back in like June.
I did.
One week after Booberry was put down, my family dog Mika was put down as well. She was 14 and I'm 23, so my family had had her for more than half of my life. It has been very shocking and overwhelming. All of my pets that have ever been in my life are just gone. Obviously, we had Mika when I brought Booberry home, and they were so close. She was so scared of this little kitten, and it was so funny to us. And I can't believe it's been 9 years since that moment. It's mind-blowing to me. I'm grieving and coping the best way I can by staying busy, taking care of my kids, painting, rock tumbling, Legos, doing arts and crafts, journaling, and keeping my house clean and organized, finding new recipes. I have just been in the trenches, but I'm grieving the best that I can. It's May 21st as I edit this. It's been almost a month, and I just can't believe how fast time goes. It's been a very painful month.